I'm pretty good at goodbyes. Some might say I'm a professional. By the age of 16, I have attended 5 different schools in 3 different cities. From kindergarten in Hong Kong to a private school in Shenzhen. From the rigid discipline of a Shenzhen public middle school to an international academy. And finally to Hangzhou here at OTIA. For a long time, I carried a ghost in my pocket. Tucked behind the plastic on my old school card was a blurry Polaroid, a photo of my basketball team during the sports meet. I wasn't even in the photo because I had already transferred, but my friend signed it and sent it to me to say, "You're always one of us." As a sentimental person, the photo was my oxygen. I spent every night looking at it and wishing I could travel back to that specific basketball court. I was physically in a new city, but mentally, I was living as a ghost of the past. When I arrived here at OTIA, I hit a wall. I was a grade 11 transfer student. If you've ever been the new kid in a group that has already been together for a whole year, you know the feeling. It's like watching a movie where everyone else knows the script, but you don't. Because of my unique course selection, I was always alone. For the first 2 weeks, I was a ghost. While others laughed during tea breaks, I stood in the corner. I spent my free periods in the library alone, staring at my empty notebook and wondering, what if? What if the best version of me was a gear that only turned in that specific basketball court? What if I never find another group of people who can finish my sentences before I even speak them? To cope, I retreated into memories of my old robotics teams. I could still hear the deafening roars of the cutting machine slicing through aluminum beams in our workshop. I could still smell the steam of that one bowl of instant noodle 3 of us shared at 3 a.m. We weren't just 3 students working on the project. We were a single pulse, 3 different minds locked into one vision. We bickered, we argued, but we were connected. When I sat alone in the OTIA library, that roar of the machine was all I wanted to hear. I felt my core, my strength, my joy had all left behind in that workshop in Shenzhen. Then came a Thursday afternoon after macroeconomics class. I saw a classmate, Tina. She seemed quiet, maybe as socially anxious as I was. My heart was racing. It felt harder than presenting a robot in front of a panel of judges. I gathered every ounce of courage I had and asked, "Do you want to grab lunch together?" That one sentence broke the cage. Through Tina, I met Selena. Through them, I met Scarlett and Ben. Their simple kindness, a seat at the table, a joke during break, slowly pulled me out of the ghost world. A few months ago, OTIA hosted a FTC competition that I used to attend in middle school. When I stood in the gym, 3 versions of my life finally met. Across the room, I saw younger students from the very first team that I founded in middle school. In the volunteer section was my FRC best friend from my previous school. And right next to me were my new friends from Hangzhou. At that moment, I realized that safety is not a place. It's not a specific workshop or a basketball court. In psychology, we might call this self-anchoring. Safety comes from the internal core. The realization that while the environment is fluid, your essence is solid. It is the portable sanctuary of your skills, your memories, and your capacity to love that you carry within you wherever you land. But there's a twist in my story. Because of my grade placement, I am actually a year younger than most of my friends here. This means that in 1 year, I'll have to watch Tina, Selena, Scarlett, and Ben graduate. I'll stay behind while they move on to their next chapters. The old me would have been terrified. I would have started grieving the departure from today. But the present me has learned something different. I know that when they leave, I'll be sad. I'll feel that familiar ache. But I also know that I'll survive and adapt because I have learned that home is not a geographic location or a group of people staying still forever. It is the strength that we build together. It's the strength that says, I am not defined by who I am, not defined by where I am, but by who I am becoming. So, cherish the past, but for heaven's sake, live in the present. Life is a series of constant shifts. But I've realized that my internal core is my gravity. It is the psychological anchor that allows me to stay whole even when the scenery changes. So, don't let the environment define you. Step out of the library corner, ask someone to lunch. I am still a professional at saying goodbye. That's part of my history. But because of the kindness I found here at OTIA, I have upgraded my internal OS. I am now also a professional at saying hello to the unknown. I am no longer a ghost of my memories, but an architect of my stability. And most importantly, I am a professional at living in the present. Thank you.